We have been guided to look at a question here where we are told to work out the question, then solve it completely using what you call the completing square method. So solve using the completing square method. So this is one of the methods that mathematicians use to work out or solve quadratic equations to get the possible values of x. And of course, apart from this method, you can also be able to talk about or to refer to as the quadratic formula, and of course, the factorization method. So they all still can actually help us get the exact values of x in a particular quadratic equation. You have been told to solve that. So you've been given 6x squared plus 11x and then plus 10, the answer being equal to 0. So we've been told to solve this quadratic equation using the completing square method. So this is an equation referred to as a quadratic equation in the form ax squared plus bx plus c, so that 6 corresponds to a, and of course 11 is represented by b, and of course the constant c is represented by 10. So the first step to actually take is to ensure that you take your constant onto this other side of the equal sign. So I'll be left with 6x squared plus 11x being equal to negative 10. Why is it negative 10? It is positive 10. On crossing the equal sign, it becomes 0 minus 10, which now gives us negative 10 still. On to the next step, I know very well I need to make the coefficient of x squared to be what? 1. So I divide all through by a, and of course a is 6. So I want to make sure that this x squared has a coefficient of 1. So I will start divide by 6, divide by 6, and divide by 6. So this and this will disappear. So I'll be left with x squared plus 11 over 6x. That must be equal to negative 5 over 3. So if it gets simplified, it can be able to give us that as our answer. So we can further be able to come here and then say that let's employ the concept referred to as b over 2 squared. You pick the b, you divide by 2, then you square. This is now we actually end up employing now the completing of the square. So you square, then you complete that expression. So we can come here and say x squared plus 11 over 6. This is our b at the moment. Initially, our b was 11, but in this simplified expression, our b is 11 over 6. So we shall say 11 over 6 as our b. We divide that by 2, then we square the resultant answer. So what is b? 11 over 6, the coefficient of x. So the coefficient of x in any quadratic expression becomes your b. So in this case, my b is 11 over 6, the coefficient of x. I take it as my b, I divide by 2, then I end up squaring the resultant answer. To make your work easier, please just learn to be dropping this part for you to actually make your work easier, for you to even understand it. So you just say then that must be equal to negative 5 over 3 plus, you are completing the square. So 11 over 6 divided by 2 squared. This is the meaning of completing the square. You can see that. You have completed the square. That is what it means in a layman's language. So we will proceed. So we shall have x squared plus 11 over 12 squared, because I know 11 over 6 divided by 2 is the same as 11 over 6 times 1 over 2. That gives us 11 over 12. So 11 over 12 squared, that must be equal to minus 5 over 3, then plus 11 over 12 squared still. That still gives us the same aspect in terms of what you're trying to do here. So this and these are all squared. So we can just put them together, x then plus 11 over 12, and they are all able to get squared. So you'll be able to get the square root on both sides at the end of this. So this must be equal to minus 5 over 3. This is not squared, this is squared. You cannot be able to do the same thing you've actually done here. So you can still have 121 over 144. Great. So we will proceed. So let me get the sum here. So minus 5 over 3. So minus 5 over 3. Then you're adding on to 121 over 144. Great. So you get negative 119 over 144. So this gives us x plus 11 over 12 squared being equivalent to negative 119 over 144. Next, introduce a square root on both sides to eliminate this square. So this and this will disappear. And we will be able now to end up, just a minute, I create space here for us to proceed. We'll now end up having x plus 11 over 12 being equal to plus or minus the square root of negative 119 divided by 12, because I know the square root of 144 is 12. Then lastly, I can just take this 11 over 12 onto this other side, so that now my final answer is going to be x is equal to plus or minus the square root of negative 119, and this must be over 12, then minus 11 over 12. Why did I leave this part? Because we do not have the square root of a negative number. So that now can actually allow us to leave this square root in our expression. So the possible values of x can be positive, negative 119 when you get its square root divided by 12 minus 11 over 12, or negative the square root of negative 119 over 12 minus 11 over 12. Why did I even end up having minus 11 over 12? Because it was positive 11 over 12. On crossing the equal sign, it becomes negative. So this can actually be able to give us the possible values of x. And that is where you can be able to end, because you can't work out this question any further because of the negative here.